Hey, I'm Anna Calderon. I'm a people food editor and a self-taught baker. Today I'm making what I'm calling a first responders cake because it says thank you on top, and I'm making it like a scrub blue. And I'm gonna drop it off at a hospital because my dad works at a hospital. Right here I have some frozen cake layers. I love frosting frozen cake layers because the frosting firms up a little when you're adding it. It's just much easier to decorate. I have all the ingredients for a buttercream. This is my favorite buttercream recipe. So let's get started. I'm just gonna have a small offset spatula here and just put a tiny dab of frosting onto our cake board. So once you have a little bit of dab there, you're gonna add your first layer of cake. This just keeps the cake from sliding around while we're decorating it. Now I'm gonna use an ice cream scoop to just take a few scoops of frosting onto our first cake layer. Once you have that, you're gonna add another little bit of frosting on top and then smooth out the top and then the sides again. Okay, once your cake is sufficiently covered, I'm gonna take a bench scraper. It makes it so that the crumbs really lock in and you get a smooth edge. So I'm just going like this. And then I like to have an extra bowl where I can just put that frosting right in there because this might have some crumbs in it, so you don't really want to reuse it right now. Okay. Now for the top, to get a nice clean edge, you want to hold your offset spatula totally level and then just sweep it in towards the middle and then turn your turntable a little bit. And then you can just clean up the sides of your cake board where all that frosting is with the edge of your bench scraper. Okay, that's our crumb coat. So I'm gonna stick this in the fridge for about 30 minutes and then we'll do our final layer of frosting. Okay, while our cake is in the refrigerator getting nice and firm, I'm gonna dye our frosting. So I mentioned I'm gonna make it blue for the doctors and nurses, but first I'm gonna take out a little bit of white just so we have it for the end. That's what I'm going to use to stencil out the words thank you. Now I'm going to add my blue gel food coloring. I love gel the best, but if you just have the liquid, that's fine too. And I'm going to, since it's going to be ombre, we're going to do light to dark. So we're going to start with just one drop of the food coloring, and then as we frost, and we'll add more as we go. Take the sides up like this, twist it around, and then we'll be ready to pipe. Now let's get that cake out of the refrigerator. Okay, now I'm gonna take my piping bag and I'm gonna pipe a line around the bottom, about 1/3 of the way. We're gonna stack the lines on top of each other, and don't worry if they're not perfect. I'm gonna kind of make them zigzagged at the top so that when we blend all 3 colors together, it'll be nice and seamless and you won't really see like exactly where each color starts and stops. Okay, once that's mixed up, we're gonna add it back to our piping bag. So I'm just gonna add 1 or 2 more drops. Now we're gonna do the final color. Just gonna scoop this into my piping bag. You need a little more frosting this time because we're gonna do the top too. So I'm just piping in a swirl around. So first what we have to do is put this back in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Now we're gonna get rid of all this edge with our hot knife. There we go, now let's do the stencil. Now, whenever you're using a stencil on a cake, you want to make sure the cake is really nice and cold and firm. So since this was in the freezer, that's perfect. So now, to get the stencil on the cake, just gonna lay it gently on top of the cake and then spread a really thin layer of frosting on top of the stencil. So I'm just gonna make sure it's centered. So I have a little bit of that white frosting that we reserved in the beginning, and then I'm just gonna spread it on top with my offset spatula, a really thin layer. Reveal our letters. How cool is that? And I'm gonna do you. That's it, we're all finished, and I'm gonna go drop this off at a hospital. Thank you so much for baking with me.
We come here for you, so please stay home for us. Thank you.